So I got to ask you folks, do you want an outdoor kitchen anytime, anywhere? You can't go wrong with this one. This one includes a stove, a sink, a cutting board, a table, and a light bracket to provide you with everything you need to cook anywhere. However, these accessories can be put back in that portable box, and it can suddenly become convenient to transport. The wheels, handle, make it super easy to move. Today we're going to take a look at this outdoor mobile camp kitchen that you could use for either a bug out location, emergency cooking, or just a weekend in the forest. Let's check it out. All right, folks, welcome back. So instead of going into all the details on this with it all closed up and that being kind of boring, what we're going to do is set it up. Now, I've printed out their setup instructions right here. We're going to see how easy this is to set up. I have not set it up yet. I'm doing it first on camera because I wanted you guys to see this. I'm thinking this is handy for, say, emergency cooking. It does have a stove in it and lots of room to put things down and work. It does have a little sink in it too. So I'm thinking for an emergency situation, setting this up somewhere, wherever you may be, your bug out location or even outside of your home, might be really handy. I would venture to say if you're careful with it and got good ventilation, you could probably use the stove indoors too. Having a way to back up your kitchen is a really handy thing sometimes, so let's check it out. We're going to open it up and we're going to start one by one assembling this and seeing how it goes. So your first order of business is going to be loosening up these straps that come along the side. They're very easy to loosen up. You're going to pull that little button out and take it right off there. Let's see if we can do this. And there you go. You're going to do that all the way around on all four sides. Okay, next up, you're going to take off these three tables that were on top of it over there, those three pieces there, and you're going to open up the stove table. This is pretty simple here. You're just going to pull up on it, pull out the legs, and down it goes. And now, let me move you over a little. You've got your stove and your area there. So we're going to set up the other parts of this and see how we go. And that's a really nice big stove. It does use isobutane canisters. I'm assuming with an adapter you could probably change which one you use. Let's keep setting it up. So next up you're going to be connecting the two tables here. We have another table to connect there. You'll see the clamps. They just slide right on. They're very easy to put on. So they'll slide right on there. And then we're going to cover up that big area on the other side there. Let's move back over that way. And that's going to be our side tables here. So next it says to undo the side table and sink on the other side. So let's get that. So we added the other table over on this side. And you can see it's starting to form a nice little table. These are very simple clamps, by the way. You just slip them on one side, slip the table in and push up, and then pull down the legs. Really easy to do. So let's get these legs into the side table and sink and give that a shot. So this side's going to be your sink over here, okay? You're going to insert that leg there. And hopefully just give it a little twist. There we go. And it's in there. So it's locked in place. Then we're going to put this right back here and do the same on the other side. All right, so I wanted to show you this from this side, even though it's not the best angle. I've got this the sink set up, the other table over there set up. The instructions, this was pretty simple. I kind of looked at them and glanced at them. There's one last thing we need to do, and that is to set up this antenna looking like thing here. And that's going to be for your lantern or light or whatever, and that screws in over on that table there. So let's take it over there and show you how that goes. Right down there is the hole in the table for this piece. So we're just going to kind of guide it on in there and screw it into place nice and sturdy. And there you go. So we're going to pull this up, and once this gets to the top, we have a place to hang our lantern or light. And I'll show you that from a distance in a sec here. I just wanted to make sure I got it up and in there. So, give me a second. I'll pull you around. We'll look at the whole thing from top to bottom. All right, so there you go. The whole thing is set up. There's just one last little piece that you'll find left over. And that's this here. And that's to connect your isobutane canister to that stove over there. And we're going to do that in a second. But I just wanted to give you a quick little look at the whole thing from a whole perspective there. You see where my lantern is hanging up, and you can use, of course, any lantern you want. When you're picking these up, I was kind of confused. I picked them up, and they fell back down again. I'm like, what the heck? What good is that? You have to pick them up and twist them a little bit to the left, and they'll be fine. So that's all you got to do. You pick them up, twist them, you're good. So let's connect the isobutane canister to it. Underneath that table where the stove is, this part screws in here. I believe it's this part here, okay? Get a look at that in the there. And this part will go on your canister. So let's get that going and we'll test out the stove and see how well that stove works. All right, so we're all set up. I got the gas canister connected down here, and of course the tube connected under here to the stove. And I kind of find it funny that they say hot caution fire alarm. Before you start this stove, you're going to have this piece of plastic over the top of it. Make sure you pull that off. I pulled it off just now, but I wanted to test it, so it's hot. I don't want to put it back on, but it will be back on there. I just wanted to test it really quick. Not having any luck with the PCI igniter, but it definitely ignites quickly with that. That is hot. That is burning. So you definitely have a good fire going on there. That's pretty cool. So it's not going to be a humongous flame, but it is a very nice burner. Yeah, that's definitely hot, so it's working. Definitely cool. I like it. I think it's going to be more like a radiator. I can almost see, even in the sunlight, that's all starting to get red there, and I can feel it over here. Yeah, that's way, way hot. So it's definitely doing its job. All right, so let me give you a little information on this. Back you up and show you the whole thing all at once. All right, so we're backed up far enough where you can see everything. Took a little bit to get that lantern in there. It was kind of, had to pull back pretty far. All in all, I'm pretty impressed with the darn thing. I can't wait to actually take it out and use it. I did notice some scratches on the end table there, the last little piece. I'm thinking that might have been for me, because when I took this off, I put that upside down, and we just had our roof fixed up here, so probably got little pieces of rock from the roof off, and it scratched it. But other than that, it's flawless. It works great. PCI igniter didn't work, but again, I'm going to try it a little bit more. I'm not sure if there's a battery in there I need to unhook or something, or maybe replace, but heck, I always got a lighter or some kind of flame source with me, so I'm not worried about that. I like having the little cutting board over there and the tables to serve stuff, to put stuff down. It is a little low, but then again, if you're camping, you're going to be down at that area anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And you do have your nice little sink there, which is kind of handy. You can put stuff in there to soak when it's really dirty, and once you go to wash it, it won't be as bad. So all in all, I'm really liking the unit. It weighs about 40.8 pounds, okay? So this whole thing is going to be 40.8 pounds or 18.5 kilograms when it's folded back up. And that's the cool part. This folds back up into that box you saw at the start. There was hardly anything to it. So for maybe long-term bug out location, emergency preparedness, where you have something like this ready to go, say at your in your garage, and you can just pull it out and cook with it. Something like this could be really, really handy. I like the fact that the tables are sturdy. You know, I was messing around with them a little bit, and they don't seem to bounce around or anything. The legs seem to hold up really nicely. They don't want to fold back under. That's a problem I've had with a lot of camping tables, where they fold out and they want to fold back under. So definitely really cool. Now the price really quickly. Okay, if you don't register on the site and you check out as a guest, it's $265. If you register, it's $209.99. I also have my coupon down below. That's VV promo. That will give you a 5% off on this or anything else on the whole site. So it's not just a specialty coupon. You can use this for anything you want on the site itself. Now, fold it up, okay? Folded up size on this is 18.5 inches by 17.7 inches by 20.1 inch. Okay, so once you fold everything back together into that box, that's the size of that. It does have the wheels. It does roll very nicely and easily. You see the back wheels there. You'll tilt it up like a cooler and just kind of push it along. Okay, unfolded, the whole length of it is 71 inches. The tables are 17 inches each. The burner is 12 inches across. Your height of your stand there for your lantern, 16.5 inches from the bottom, and then 47.2 inches from the top. So a total of 16.40 plus 47. Gives you a good idea of how big this thing is. It's pretty large once it's unfolded. I mean, you can see it's not a tiny little table. It's definitely not sitting there in the grass with your one little burner trying to cook. So it definitely makes for a little more of a permanent, say you're going away to camp for a week or 2 weeks, say you're using this in an emergency situation and you don't know when the power or whatever has happened is going to come back. You can toss this in your car, roll it out to wherever your location is, and you're good to go. And the nice part is that big box there has a box full of stuff that you can store stuff in. I can put my propane in there, some food, maybe a little bit of ice, whatever, and that thing will be ready to go. So definitely a cool little item. Again, this is the outdoor mobile bug out camp kitchen. It is from Bevor, so again, I have the coupon for you. If you do register on the site, you will get a deal on it, and that's just the lantern doesn't come with it. That's just the generic lantern that I have, an oil lamp. So I just wanted to make sure it would hold it up, especially after learning that I had to twist those to tighten them up. I was like, wait a minute, I pull this thing up, it falls right back down. So definitely a cool little thing. I really like it. I think the burner is actually really impressive because it doesn't put out a huge flame. but it's almost like it radiates. You know, if you get up close on that burner, you can see it's kind of like one of those radiating type burners. It's not necessarily the flame you're going to get. You're going to get the heat off the burner itself. So not a lot of wild flame blowing everywhere in a windy situation. It's more of a concentrated heat. So all in all, I'm liking it. So anyway, the link for it will be down below if you're interested in checking it out. Again, with my 5% off coupon, and that coupon's good for anything on the whole site. So you don't just get 5% off on this. If you see something else you like, so the link will be down below. Check it out. I think it's kind of handy and neat. If you're, again, I get this stuff not necessarily from my situation. I wouldn't necessarily use this in a bug out situation because I don't have a bug out location, and my best bet is probably staying home. But if you do have a camp, a cabin, whatever, and you don't have an actual kitchen in it, that's an easy way to put one in there, really, really simply. Definitely check out the Jace Medical link down there. Okay, you can get your antibiotics prescribed to you. I'm hearing some rumblings in the medical world that there's a lot of shortages on certain common antibiotics, and this is a good time to think about getting this stuff prescribed to you from a doctor in the United States, a doctor you can call back and say, hey, you know what, my stomach's kind of upset, my arm is bleeding, whatever, what kind of antibiotic or medicine should I take? And they can actually tell you, that sounds like this, take that. There's also an excellent guide with it too. So check it out. Use my code for that down below as well. Below that, we have our freeze-dried wholesalers link. The link saves you 15% on anything on the site. Get stocked up on food now before the rush. And below that, our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store, as well as our My Patriot Supply link. That's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com. Lots of good quick solutions for getting you topped off and stocked up if you have absolutely no food ready yet. I thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.